Happy New Year, everybody. So, it's 2025, a whole new year, and another new adventure for arm wrestling. Today, I just wanted to talk to you guys about your goals and aspirations, some New Year's resolutions, if you will, for 2025, and I'm just gonna do it while I'm getting through my first workout of the day. Just doing my warm-up right now, doing some Rino Masic back pressure. It's one of my favorite exercises to do. It's been in almost all of my programs ever since I first learned about it, like, I don't know, was it like a year and a half ago? So. Warm-up set, and I'm only training mostly right arm right now just because of some nagging issues with my left hand. I've decided to take a step back from my left hand, and left hand's still only doing table time, but not so much weights. You might see me messing around with weights on the left hand every now and then, maybe doing some light reps or stuff, but mostly going to be concentrating on the right hand this year. And that brings me to my first major goal for 2025, which is I want to get this right hand up to the #1 position in Southeast Asia for the 85 kilo categories. Well, that's a tall order considering the amount of talent that we have in Southeast Asia for this weight class, but I think it's doable. I think I'm right up there with the rest of the 85 kilo guys. I don't think there's anyone that is just so strong and completely unattainable for me that would make this make this goal just unrealistic. And for those of you who have been following me throughout my arm wrestling career, especially over the past 2 years, you know that I'm a pretty decent guy at like 80 kilos or so. This whole 85 kilo thing is something of a new venture to me. From 2022 to 2023, mostly been competing under 80 kilos. Back then in IFA it was 78 kilos, so another 2 kilos lower. Now it's on 30 kilos for this warm-up. I usually do 1, maybe 2 warm-up sets before I go into my actual working weights, just so that I get the joints warmed up, don't snap anything up. I'm gonna try it with the left hand just to see if everything's okay. Left, I've always trained my left hand. I've never really neglected my left hand training throughout my arm wrestling career. It's just that because of my background with 10-pin bowling, I've had years and years of mileage on my right arm that caused it to grow considerably more compared to my left across the period of time during my youth. So I started 10-pin bowling when I was 6 years old and stopped at around 19, 20 years old. So that was a very crucial point in time in my life for development physically. And I think because of that, probably my left arm will probably never be as good as my right. So that's unfortunate, but once everything's all okay, I do plan on training left hand again. I just don't have very high hopes for it. But yeah, so #1, 85 kilos in Southeast Asia. I think that's going to be my main plan for this year. Second goal, let me just get the weights up here. I'm going on to 42.5, which is going to be my working weight for today. 2 and a 5. Let's get this hunk of junk all set up. And just to show you guys, let me just tilt this camera down. Yeah, there is weight on the other end of this pulley. I'm not just trolling you guys. Second goal. So last year was a very big year of growth for the Eastside channel, and no small part thanks to all of you viewers. Thank you so much for helping us hit 11,000 subscribers last year. This year I want to try, because I don't think my growth is going to be like exponential. I want to be a little bit more conservative. I'm going to be aiming for, let's say, 16K, so another 5,000 subscribers for Eastside. I think that's a reasonable goal. I think I can do that, especially with all the new content that's going to be coming out, with new events that I'm going to be doing. I can't really announce exactly what I'm going to be doing this year just yet, because a lot of it is still confidential, but I promise you guys that it's going to be great stuff. A lot of things coming to the Southeast Asian region, and I'm very, very excited to announce that when the time comes. So 42.5 kilos. I like to test the weight a little bit, because sometimes the chain and the carabiner don't exactly line up and stuff like that, and can suddenly pop as I'm lifting up, and you don't really want that to happen, especially when you're going at heavy weights. So doing 3x5 today for this lift. Ooh, yeah. Felt good. And yeah, other than that, I want this year to be slightly more competition focused again. I was very, very competition focused in 2022, 2023, but in 2024, because of all the mileage that I put my body through and all the competitions, super matches that I was in, 2024 was a year of rest for me. And that's where I focused a little bit more on content creation. I focused a little bit more on organizing events and being part of, coordinating things in the arm wrestling circle. But 2025, I really want to get back to serious competing. I want to get back to a good shape, good form. Still some nagging injuries here and there, especially in my right hand, the top two fingers, mostly because of some mistakes I made back in December. I went to Thailand and did a weird massage where the lady, she actually like drove her elbow or her knee or something into my forearm, and I think that snapped some shit up, and really unfortunate, but live and learn. I hope it's not too serious. Based on my lifts over the past 2 weeks, I've only been starting my training for 2 weeks. Things have been doing okay, and as long as nothing too serious happens, I think I should be in good shape, especially by the next couple of months, 1 to 2 months. I think I should be in good shape. And yeah, I want this year to be more competition focused. Gonna bring back the Greg of 2022, 2023, going overseas to destroy people, hopefully, and in the process also achieve that first goal of mine, which was to be 85 kilo #1 in Southeast Asia. So some people have been asking me about this lift and how I do it and why there's this thing. Rino Masic has made an entire video, I think multiple videos on this lift. Basically, loop a belt, one through the hand and one through just the base at your wrist. You don't want it to be like way down like this, because that's just too much leverage. So just for consistency's sake, we have it directly at the wrist. And this is just the second one is just to help cinch these two belts together, two loops of the belts together, so that the weight distribution is more even. I've tried it with, I've tried it without. I think this one's a little bit more consistent. You can definitely get away with not doing it with this extra thing, but it's just a consistency thing for me. I like to keep my lifts as consistent as possible, just so I can track progress better. Yeah, so, and as most of you guys know, the Singapore Arm Wrestling Federation had recently joined AAF, which is the Asian branch of WAF, back in October. And that now allows us to compete at WAF events. And that means most likely I will be going to WAF Worlds this year. Whether I'm going to be competing or not, that really depends on whether it lines up with any other events I have around that time. But if everything goes according to plan, that will probably be my next goal, which is to compete at WAF for the first time. Singapore has actually competed at WAF multiple times in the past, but back then I wasn't really in the competitive scene yet. So this will be a good experience. I don't really expect to place or anything. The WAF world level is really a different ball game altogether. But just going there for the experience, to meet friends, I think it's worthwhile going to experience that. Those are my goals for 2025. Let me know what you guys' goals are. It's gonna be a big year ahead. So many exciting things, I've said it before. But yeah, I can't wait to hear from you guys in the comments. Take care, everybody.